Hallo zusammen! Today I, a German native speaker and language teacher here on YouTube, want to evaluate the question, okay, which Rammstein songs might be best for learning German as beginners? Because of course you can somewhat learn German with all Rammstein songs that are in German, which is the vast majority, as we all know, I guess. But there are some that really are suited better for beginners because of their lyrical properties and their style, their structure. So let's talk about those songs today. Some of you guys watching this might already be familiar with my various other Rammstein-related videos on this channel, ranging from the background of band members to English translations and explanations of the original German lyrics. I truly think pretty much every Rammstein song works well for learning German. However, that being said, there are certain more poetic and literally abstract songs that rather require an advanced understanding of German words and phrases, for instance in terms of their ambiguity. So, which Rammstein songs are suited best for people that are just beginning to learn German? When you are a fresh beginner and you don't want to feel overstrained right away, I'd personally suggest starting with a song like Du hast. Not only because it's one of the guy's most popular hits, of course it is, but primarily because even though the lyrics are quite short, they manage to be basic yet also feature a few interesting linguistic features, basic German language features. I'm not gonna go into full detail here when it comes to this song because I've already done that before. You can find a link to that video in the end card, but just look at the first verse. What it looks like being written out. That alone tells a lot. Du hast mich. Du hast mich gefragt. Du hast mich gefragt. Du hast mich gefragt. Und ich habe nichts gesagt. The German personal pronoun and informal form of address in singular, du, is a very important and basic feature in daily German talk. It can be inflected, but here it's the standard form in nominative. Just speaking in terms of syntax and the general word order, du hast could be an example of a minimum ingredient sentence. It features everything you need to have for a proper German sentence. Subject plus verb. In this case though, it's a bit special because hast is an auxiliary verb. It gets used here because of the tense, which becomes more obvious in the following lines. Du hast mich gefragt is a sentence in the perfect, the present perfect tense. It's a past tense in German. To express an action in this past tense, perfect, you have to use respectively conjugated forms of the auxiliary verb haben and a directly related past participle. Here, gefragt, asked. Du hast mich gefragt. You have asked me. The personal pronoun, mich, accusative singular, me, usually gets inserted between hast and gefragt. The final line in the pre-chorus features two Hauptsätze, der Hauptsatz, the main clause, which are connected by probably the most often and most commonly used German conjunction, und, and. In the chorus you can also see the typical German sentence structure for a question, with the verb being featured at the beginning. These are a few reasons why I personally would say this one is one of the best entry points for, well, German beginners, learners of the German language that just started learning German. The lyrics aren't too complex yet compelling, they are simple yet not dumb. There is more to them than meets the eye in some cases here and there, especially also to the title because it's very ambiguous. But more about that, as I've said before, in my dedicated video about Du hast. Du hast mich. I'd also recommend starting to learn German with keine Lust. Grammatically speaking, the lyrics also feature the German auxiliary verb haben in various facets, including a colloquial short version, hab instead of habe, the ordinary habe in indicative mode, and hätte, would have, in conjugative mode. Whereas in Du hast, the lyrical perspective is rather focused on the du, meaning addressing someone else. Keine Lust is centered around the ich, I, and expressions from the lyrical I's own perspective. Of course, another popular Rammstein tune in that vein is Ich will, and that song is also really well suited for learning German as a beginner. Of course, these are only a few Rammstein songs which might be suited best for beginners of the German language. If you know more or if you have more ideas about which songs might suit that category, well, feel free to tell us in the comments. I'd sure like to know, and I guess many others as well. If you enjoyed this, well, feel free to check out my other Rammstein-related videos as well. You can find a clickable link to the playlist right here. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm your Vlog Dave. Tschüss und bis zum nächsten Mal.